Hey guys, today I wanted to talk about why indie is the future of gaming. Now, I think we all know that the big AAA titles are not doing so well recently, right? I mean, they release game after game, and it's either an unoptimized, crap fest, or the game just sucks, just straight up doesn't work, or it's filled with political messaging, stuff like that, and it doesn't really care about the user experience. And actually, they blame the users. I mean, can you imagine that? I mean, a customer walks into your shop and wants to buy a cola, and they pick up a cola and they buy your cola, and the cola tastes like shit, right? And then they come back and they start complaining, why is your cola taste like shit? And you start blaming them, and they're like, the cola tastes good, you don't know what you're talking about. But like, they literally bought the cola, it's meant for them, right? Like, who cares what you think? What, like, it's the same with YouTube, right? Some people, they make YouTube videos, I mean, like me, for myself, right? Some people make videos like Mr. Beast solely for other people, right? And it's like a big difference. And essentially, that kind of arrogance from the big companies is, I think, the kind of sole thing you need to look at to realize that it's going down a really, really bad path, right? I mean, I think the best example is if you compared a game like Schedule One, which was a massive success, but it was a small game created by one man, right? One man created a small game, published it on Steam, and it became a global success. I mean, can you imagine that? And then we have games like fucking Avowed with bullshit physics and DEI nonsense, and it's like, what are we even talking about, right? Like, do you want a truly original experience, like for example, again, Schedule One, stuff like that, or do you want some sort of corporate, you know, nonsense, right? I mean, I play a lot of old games. I'm gonna be honest. I play a lot of old games. I don't play all of the new games. First of all, because my PC simply can't handle all the new games. They run like crap. But that's kind of just to tell you that I'm not as well versed in the new age of gaming. I just know that most of the new games produced by big companies, like for example, when Bethesda made Starfield, they just flop. Right? You know why they flop? They flop because they're bad. Okay, that's one of the things, right? And then we have small games. I was really surprised by Schedule One, by the way, which are a global success, right? And it's like it's not only happening in these areas; it's also happening in other forms of in YouTube, right? That's one of the places I've noticed it is that people are starting to value genuine content rather than kind of over edited nonsense, right? Like where the video is made to kind of brainwash you with no real value. You know those AI slop videos. Like, obviously nobody likes AI slop, but what I'm kind of saying is that people are starting to really value originality and true creativity, and I think that's something that the big studios see. I think this we can see this very well in the movie industry. And the way we can see in the movie industry is that every movie that comes out, it's boring. They all follow the same set of I would say template. So all new Hollywood movies, they have this one template, or at least like 10 templates. They base all of their movies off, right? Like for example, I'm making a video. I have a template. My template currently is record my voice, slap some gaming in the background, right, and then upload that to YouTube. That's my kind of thing. That's my template. But their template is very strict. For example, the best way we can see a big Hollywood movie failing was Snow White. I mean, that movie was garbage, okay? It was straight up garbage. Or Minecraft. The only reason Minecraft was a success is, first of all, because Minecraft is meant for 4-year-olds, usually. And it already has like a big fan base and a big brand name, and nobody has seen a Minecraft movie. It's like taking, I don't know, like fucking Einstein, bringing him back to life, even if that, okay, that's a bad metaphor, but essentially, Minecraft it was not a good movie. That movie was bad, okay? Let's be honest. This movie is really bad. But it just had the right set of circumstances where it earned enough money to not be a failure, right? But movies like Snow White, which are just straight up garbage, Nobody likes that, because they're boring. They follow, first of all, they follow, again, same template, and they don't do anything new. That's what Hollywood and the big industries, big companies, essentially. What happens is that, for example, Apple, when Steve Jobs was still alive, what he did is he took risks. He created original stuff. The reason he took risks is because essentially he had nothing to lose. But now Apple is a big name and they can't take risks. I mean, they takes a small risk, they can lose like 20% of their stock, right? I mean, okay, not 20%, but they can lose a big part of something, right? Essentially, whenever a company or a group or whatever becomes big, there's this incentive on stopping doing on to stop doing original things, and I can vouch for this myself. Whenever I was making YouTube videos, I make a good YouTube video, and now the pressure is on me to make every next video good. So what I do is I take whatever was great about the last video and I try to replicate the last video, right? And I mean, I'm not that great at it, but essentially I kind of can't be as creative. I can't be as bold. Whenever my videos are getting like 5 views a piece, I have the ability to make the next video whatever I like because my last video got 5 views. But if I make a video that does like 1,000 views or 20,000 views, I can make the next video whatever I want because then I really risk losing those views, right? And I think that's essentially what's happening with these big companies. But the problem is that it's a real love hate relationship, right? I mean, you have to be creative, you have to be original, but you also can't overdo it. And they have become too afraid of taking risks. But when you have a big company, uh not a big company, what am I saying? When you have a small creator, right, like one dude sitting at a computer, he doesn't care about no goddamn stocks or something, right? He cares about the game. He has a cool idea, he writes up some code, he makes a little beta, right? And he uploads that to Steam, and boom, people like it, right? He doesn't care about anything other than the game, right? I mean, obviously there are people who make stuff just to make money, but you know those are those mobile games on Google Play, right? I mean, those are the people who make games for solely soulless purposes, for money. The ad-riddled games on Google Play Store or App Store, whatever. Essentially, single creators, indie creators, have the kind of ability to make anything they want. And when you have the ability to make anything you want, you have the ability to be really creative. You have the ability to make anything, really. I mean, as long as it's not like illegal or something, I mean, you can't just put gore. Like, I mean, you can put gore, but you can't sell drugs or I mean, gambling. I mean, CS:GO has that, but whatever. Basically, you have the ability to create anything, and you don't have to really follow a particular, I would say, political stance. I mean, yeah, one can definitely put a political message in one's video game, but that video game is not going to do well anyway. I mean, they barely do well when the big studios release them, and they definitely won't do well when a small creator releases that video game, right? So essentially, that's kind of my point is that small creators have the ability to be creative, and I think that everything in life is fluid. It's fluent, right? There's this saying, um, good times create weak. No, no. Strong men create good times. Good times create weak men create bad times create strong men. And it applies to everything, right? Hollywood in the 70s, boom, peak Hollywood. Good times, strong creators created strong movies. They created good times for Hollywood. And then they, you know, created good times, and those good times made all of them like kind of relax. Oh, we're Hollywood, we can make whatever we want. Okay, not whatever we want, but we're Hollywood. Whatever we make will be successful. And that created bad creators. There are exceptions, obviously. I mean, for one, Quentin Tarantino, he made not recently, but 6 years ago, the movie Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which is great. But that's one movie. Obviously, occasionally there are exceptions. But for example, one of the best movies ever recently made was the movie Flow, which actually came from my country, if you can imagine that. So the movie Flow, it's a big one, a small team of guys created that movie. It was a one creator, and the guy had made the movie 8 years prior, at least the basic idea, and he worked on that movie with a small team, and he won an Oscar for it. I mean, can you imagine that? One dude. Indeed, that movie was an indie movie, and it beat all of the Inside Out 2s. It beat all of the robot bullshit. It just beat everybody. You know why? Because it was original. And I got off topic because I want to kind of spread national pride for my fellow Latvians. But moving on, I wanted to kind of say that obviously there will come a time where the big studios will again create good content because they will realize that, hey, following these templates, it's not working out, right? It's not going great. So what they will do is they will start taking risks one by one. One company takes a risk, does beautifully. Another company takes a risk, maybe fails, but people give that company respect for taking a risk, right? And it's just one big cycle. I mean, I was in a history lesson a while ago, and the teacher said something that's very right. Everything in life, it's a spiral, and it's a spiral in the sense that everything will happen again. Basically, every point in history will repeat because it's a spiral going up. And the reason it's a spiral, not a circle, is because a spiral is going up, hence time. But in a spiral, everything always returns to a specific point on the circle, right? If you look from the top. So, obviously, right now, indie games and indie everything is the future because small creators, they will just do cool stuff, right? I mean, just take a look at Starfield, right? Just take a look at AWOW, take a look at Concord, take a look at a lot of modern games that have just failed, and then think about why they failed. Look at people who speak on the subject, and I just made a video why Asmongold is my idol, and I'm inspiring this video a lot off of what he has said, right? Because he is much more educated in these matters than I am, but essentially I'm just trying to kind of speak on this matter, right? So yeah, that's kind of my opinion on why uh, indie developers are the future of gaming. And not only gaming, essentially all uh, kind of forms of media, right? But I'm a gaming creator, so I have to talk about gaming a bit more, right? But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Like it if you like it, dislike if you dislike it. Please subscribe to this games. I make daily content, at least I try to, and I try to make it some good content. I try to be logical and reasonable. And also, if you noticed, I'm not speaking in game anymore. I'm actually recording and then putting some gameplay in the background. The reason for that is that I found it really difficult, not really difficult, but more difficult to articulate my thoughts whenever I was playing a game and speaking. So I just decided to record it while I'm not gaming, so I can just kind of think and really articulate my thoughts and be clearer. And people don't want to listen to some dude mumble about something. People want a clear kind of presentation, right? So I mean, I at least try and do that. So yeah. Subscribe and goodbye.